Listen carefully, America, because no one in Connecticut knows what Chris Murphy is up to. He is my U.S. Senator. He is diabolical, okay? Diabolical. So I'm going to highlight some of the things we know about the guy so you can hear him. Here he is. Let him speak about the GEC, which is his censorship arm of America. Ready?
I want to turn your attention to the Global Engagement Center, because this is something you and I have talked about, and I appreciate the fact that we have continued to scale up the size of the Global Engagement Center and that your budget...
He's doubling the size of the GEC, okay? Global Engagement Center. He is Department of Homeland Security head of the U.S. Senate. He makes $5 million a month.
Requests another double-digit percentage increase. I'm of the belief that the GEC needs to take a primary rather than secondary role when it comes to the way in which we counter misinformation around the world. I think often the Department of Defense, which has a budget that dwarfs that of the GEC, doesn't always have the sensitivities that the State Department does about what messages work and what doesn't.
The State Department works for Chris Murphy, okay? He's been taking Burisma bribes, and he has the same lobbyist collecting 5G payments for probably what he's paying Ukraine. He's the Afghanistan debacle. He's the Egypt debacle. He's the Sudan debacle. He is on foreign relations for all these Wagner Group countries, taking over the oil fields and using the proceeds, giving it all to Russia. How did Egypt give weaponry that Chris Murphy paid for? How did they give it to Russia? Listen carefully.
But what concerns me more is that we have ahead of us the reauthorization of the GEC. We've got to put it back on the books, and there is really no way to combat Russian misinformation, their propaganda efforts, which are
his propaganda. He publishes his own articles. They don't publish in Connecticut. He is in charge of Hearst Media, and he is misleading the nation, lining his own pockets, and will lead to the death of us all.
To their campaign against Ukraine or China's efforts to expand its reach without the GEC. So I just want to sneak in at least one more question, but ask you for a minute to talk about what impact it would have if we were not able to extend the GEC's authorities.
Sneak. Good word.
Beyond the end of 2024.
Yeah, really, thank you for raising that. Also, thank you for your leadership.
Oh my God.
And this is a front in the...
it's a front, all right.
That Senator Rubio was just talking about. That is information. And we have competitors, adversaries, who are using information, or more accurately misinformation and disinformation, against us virtually every minute of the day, and against our allies and partners, both to drive wedges between us and also to misinform publics in profound ways. The GEC, for us, is a critical tool in actually being able...
It's a censorship tool he uses to take away my Twitter followers every day.
We'll deal with that. And as you know, what it's doing is working with other agencies to direct, to lead, to synchronize, to coordinate our efforts to understand these trends in foreign malign actors.
Hold on a second. Chris Murphy uses the Department of Homeland Security, made them turn to the Connecticut Department of Motor Vehicles and register all the illegal aliens in the state in 2016, 17, and 18. Finally, the legislature caught up with his intention and made the law in 2019. Now, why would our senators, complete morons, do these things? Why would you take the Constitution in the Constitution state and destroy it with Mr. Sandy Hook Murphy's instruction?
Trying to spread disinformation and propaganda outside of the United States. and both to understand it, to expose it, to share that information with others, and to help them develop the tools to...
Wow. I guess that's all they're going to show us. Follow the story. I am going to expose this guy, and he's making $5 million a month. Okay, most of the Republican senators are worth $3 million. He dwarfs them. When he got elected, he was penniless. Penniless. Now, since he's DHS subcommittee chair, he's collecting bribes from all over the place. And how many times has he gone to Burisma to talk to them? Chris Murphy said, if Ukraine is investigated on behalf of Trump, he would withdraw all financial support for Ukraine from Congress by himself, because Connecticut has Grumman, Connecticut has Electric Boat, Sikorsky, General Dynamics, and 270